There are loads of rich and famous kids that are spoiled. But what about kids that are spoiled that you never even heard of? Thanks to social media, a lot of these spoiled kids are exposing themselves every day. Whether they rant on YouTube, throw temper tantrums that go viral, or start showing off their lifestyle to the point where they get a large following. Here are 10 of the most spoiled kids that you didn't know about. Number 10. Ronald. There are many of us who understand that being a mother is one of the hardest jobs in the world, but you can't expect spoiled children to be grateful for what they have. Ronald believes that he is the king of the house, even though he doesn't actually bring in any income. In fact, 16-year-old Ronald has a mother who works very hard for what she has, and he's upset at how much he gets for his allowance. 16-year-old Ronald never worked a job, but his spoiled attitude became famous thanks to a Dr. Phil episode, where he states that his allowance should go up from $1,000 a month to $1,500 a month. He claims that he wants to keep up with the way that rappers spend, even though he doesn't actually rap. He claims that his mom stresses him out, which is one of the reasons why his allowance should increase. It's unclear whether Ronald ever got his own job, but he definitely has no problem bragging about his wardrobe on national television. Ronald claims that shopping is his therapy as well.
I went shopping with my friends and I went to the Gucci store and bought a pair of $500 shoes and she got mad.
Number 9. Jesse Taylor. There are some people that are so spoiled that they simply don't understand the concept of hard work. In fact, thanks to social media, there are some influencers that actually believe that they are above working for money, something that most people are either proud of or have zero problem doing to support themselves and their families. Jesse Taylor became famous for a video where she begs people not to report her Instagram. This doesn't sound that bad until you realize that she's actually crying in the video at the prospect of having to get a real job. Why is she crying? Her Instagram got deleted, and she believes that she is nothing without her following.
I am nothing without my following. I am nothing without my following.
She begs her viewers to stop reporting her profile because she is not one of the 99%ers that work a 9 to 5. There are plenty of people who work jobs that simply can't understand someone having a meltdown about their Instagram page, but most people aren't insanely spoiled brats. Number 8. Invader V. There are a lot of streamers on Twitch that hope to make money through memberships, but many of them seem to understand that it wasn't time to ask for donations during a global pandemic. While millions of people were losing their jobs, a streamer by the name of Invader V decided that she should tell her followers how they should spend their cash. She went a bit further, saying that if her viewers didn't send her $5, that they were financially irresponsible.
I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy.
This caused quite a backlash, with many people pointing out that just because they were watching her stream, it doesn't mean that they are obligated to give her money. Invader V ended up losing thousands of followers and issued out an apology. We aren't sure if she has changed her ways, but she definitely belongs on the spoiled kids list. As if all this wasn't cringe enough, consider that she's not exactly a kid. She's 29 years old. Number 7. Olivia Jade. There are some parents that work years or even decades to make sure that their kids get the right education. Olivia Jade is the daughter of Lori Loughlin, who paid to make sure that her daughter got into USC. For those who don't know, Loughlin paid around $500,000 in bribes, hoping that it would help Jade's chances. In fact, Jade even had a fake profile that claimed that she was a championship rower, when she wasn't. If you have the kind of parents that are bribing colleges, there's a good chance that you are spoiled. Jade put out a video coming back to YouTube, and there are way more dislikes than likes.
Know exactly when I should come back to YouTube, but the reason for that is just because I'm legally not allowed to speak on anything going on right now. A part of me is like, should I come back to YouTube?
You can tell from the comments that most people find her incredibly out of touch, which isn't too surprising. Some comments were particularly brutal, suggesting that she make a vlog of her visiting her parents in jail. Ouch. Number 6. Sasha, the Ukrainian gamer. There's a clip from several years ago that might not have gone as viral, but the kid involved is just as spoiled as anyone you have ever met. Sasha is a Ukrainian boy that loves video games, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that. There are millions of kids all over the world that love their video games, but the problem is what happens when his mother deletes Sasha's video games. He throws a tantrum to the point where it seems like he might actually get violent. He begins yelling and cursing and then graduates to breaking things. This is more than your average meltdown, and let's just say that Sasha might be too spoiled for his own mental health. Number 5. Brenna Gaskin, the toddler princess. You might not know who Brenna Gaskin is, but she was featured on a TV show called Toddlers and Tiaras. As you can imagine, this featured some of the most spoiled children ever. Brenna is one of them, and she declared herself the best celebrity. She barks at her parents about the fact that there aren't any snacks in her limo, which is waiting to take her to her beauty pageant. Brenna is older now, and we sure hope that she isn't as spoiled as she used to be. We aren't sure if giving a limo ride to a girl that is already spoiled is the right way to go, but Brenna clearly doesn't mind bossing around her parents as if they work for her.
Get my snack!
Okay, well, we'll get a snack at the hotel. We got to go.
I'll see you at the pageant!
Number 4. Nicolette Gray wants a raise. There are many spoiled children that don't really understand the value of hard work, but many children never even get an allowance. Nicolette Gray doesn't seem to understand that many people work hard to make $1,000 a week, but she actually thinks that it still isn't that much even when it's given to her.
I want my mom to understand that I can't live off of $1,000 a month, and I grew up on a certain lifestyle.
What does she spend her money on? Food, shopping, and personal trainers. And she's only 16. She admits that she buys all sorts of things, whether it's jewelry, purchases, or wallets, and doesn't see the issue in asking for a raise from her mom. She says that she even buys her mom a bag sometimes. Nicolette's mom is a doctor and admits that she does well for herself. The mom cut her allowance from $5,000 to $1,000 a month, and Nicolette said that she felt like she was living as a peasant.
I feel like a peasant.
Nicolette has said that a job is too much work, proof that this Beverly Hills brat is definitely spoiled to the bone. Number 3. Amanda Gray wants her spot. There are some kids that are spoiled, but it's not just about money. In the case of Amanda Gray, she seems to believe that she is entitled to certain things that others are not. Gray pled her case on a show called Justice for All, where Judge Christina Perez tries to get to the bottom of all sorts of conflicts and situations. Gray wanted to sue a man named Terrence Barnes over an incident involving a football. There doesn't seem to be any reason to think that Gray is spoiled, until you realize that she literally just crashed their party in order to make her veggie burgers. Barnes ended up grilling the burger for her, saying that she basically made him grill it.
She asked me to grill her. She basically made me grill her burger, Your Honor.
Barnes had planned a whole beach party complete with tables, lawn chairs, towels, and more. He wanted to grill some food at the barbecue pit, but Gray decided that she was entitled to the pit. Barnes told her that they were playing football, but Amanda wouldn't listen. She claimed that this area of the beach was her spot because she always goes there.
They said that she said, you know, you guys are in my spot.
And the judge put bratty Amanda in her place. The judge let her know that there was no evidence that it was intentional, and that it was crazy for her to expect him to pay for her reckless behavior when she was asked to leave repeatedly. Number 2. Daria Radionova. There are some kids that are spoiled enough to get an exotic car to drive anywhere they want. But how many people do you know that own a Lamborghini Aventador covered in diamonds? Davia Radionova might not be a celebrity, but she does own a car that has $2 million in crystals attached, by hand, to the car. The Russian Instagram model lives in London and has quite an Instagram following thanks to her lavish lifestyle. There's not much known about her family except for the fact that Daria Radionova is spoiled rotten. Number 1. Adrian Zamaripa. Adrian Zamaripa is one of the most interesting kids on this list, and he became famous when he stole his family's van in order to go buy a Lamborghini. Adrian has always wanted to drive one, and he spends hours online watching videos about the car. There was only one problem. He only had $3 to his name. His sister claims that the clearly spoiled Adrian had never done something like this before, but it's clear that Adrian might need to learn a little bit more about how money works. His sister fell asleep and Adrian grabbed the keys to the family car. He was coasting along at about 30 miles an hour on the highway when luckily a highway patrol officer stopped him, and Adrian responded that he was on his way to purchase a Lamborghini. Jeremy Nevis, an entrepreneur nearby who owns a Lamborghini, actually drove over to Adrian's house and let him have a first-hand look at the car. Nevins makes it clear that he doesn't condone stealing, but admits that he was impressed by Adrian's determination. Unlike some of the other spoiled kids on this list, Adrian seems to have learned his lesson and is doing chores around the house to make up for the incident. Adrian has even been given offers from other businesses that are happy to let him drive a Lamborghini, but this time it will be supervised. Maybe there's redemption for Adrian Zamaripa after all.
Go fast.
You know, okay, we'll go fast.